Okay, I think we can get started. My name's Tom Corcoran. I'm the president of the Delaware River Waterfront Corporation, and our board. On behalf of our board and our staff, we are thrilled that you could all be with us today for this, what we see as a very important announcement. Very briefly, I'd like to recognize our board members. Everyone here who works with the board knows that they need some recognition. And in our case, it's a great board. So with us here today from our board is Mike DeBerardinis, who will be speaking later on, Avi Eden, Ann Fedulin, Jay Goldstein, Bill Hankowski, Mike Hauptman, Alan Hoffman, Matt Rubin, Don Scott, Mario Zacharias, and former board member Alan Greenberger, and Dwayne Bum. If I missed anybody, I profusely apologize. During the program today and afterwards, a simple look behind me explains the need for why we stand here today. Like so many other cities, the construction of an interstate along the river severed Philadelphia's city from its waterfront, which was particularly disheartening here, a city which William Penn founded on the river. The same look behind me demonstrates the breadth and the scope of the project we are about to announce. 6 years ago, Delaware River Waterfront Corporation, which I will now call DRWC, developed a master plan for the central Delaware, and in so doing, while we were doing it, we developed a very innovative, cost-efficient, and very impactful way to finally reconnect Penn's Landing back to the city after more than a 40-year separation. Previous efforts to correct this problem had concentrated on burying I-95 in its totality, or covering immense stretches of the highway. All of these projects were well-intentioned, but prohibitively expensive and fraught with technical challenges. Our plan, which you'll be able to see on the screen today, on the boards over here, is much more strategic, practical, and grounded in economic reality, yet every bit as impactful and transformational as any previous proposal. It will cover I-95 and Columbus Boulevard between Walnut and Chestnut Streets, which you'll see, a one-block stretch that will connect Penn's Landing back to Philadelphia's historic core and to the city as a whole. This concept and the whole idea is that when completed, when you arrive at Front Street between Walnut and Chestnut, means that you will have arrived at the waterfront. The cost estimate to build the cap and the related infrastructure for the project is $225 million, which is exponentially less than any previous proposal. DRWC takes great pride in the development of this plan and has tested it thoroughly, working closely with PennDOT and with many other partners to make sure that it was feasible. However, it is one thing to come up with a bold new plan to solve a problem that has vexed the city for so long, but it takes a whole different kind of effort to fund the plan, which requires visionary public officials and dedicated philanthropic leaders. We are here today to announce that Mayor Jim Kenney, Governor Tom Wolf, and Janet Haas, chair of the William Penn Foundation, have together committed to provide the funding for this project, which is already under design and already has an implementation schedule. To get the ball rolling, somebody had to make the first bold move, and that was done by our next speaker, Mayor Jim Kenney, who made this project a priority initiative of his administration and part of this year's city capital budget. It is now my honor to introduce the mayor of the great city of Philadelphia, a man who cares passionately about the entire city, its social fabric, its public educational system, and its ongoing economic development. Mayor Kenney.
Thank you very much, and it's wonderful to be out here on this beautiful day talking about this wonderful project. So, good afternoon, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today announcing that full funding has been achieved and this public space is that much closer to becoming a reality. I'd like to personally thank Governor Wolf and Secretary Richards for immediately recognizing the transformative nature of this project and for their generous financial commitment to its realization. Thank you very much, Governor and Secretary. The city's investment in this project leveraged an additional $135 million of funding from other sources, a great return on that investment. I'd also like to thank the William Penn Foundation for its long-term dedication to DRWC and our entire city as a whole. Janet, where are you? Thank you. They're an integral part of our success, or any success we hope to achieve. Their investment of $15 million for this project matches another $15 million that the foundation has invested in DRWC projects over the past 8 years. Additionally, I would like to thank my colleague, 1st District Council Member Mark Squilla, for all of his hard work to help the DRWC fulfill its mission to create a world-class waterfront that can be enjoyed by all Philadelphians. I'd also like to recognize Council President Darrell Clark for his vigorous support of this project from day one. In the short term, this project will support numerous construction jobs and in the building trades. In the long term, it will create countless permanent jobs while generating significant revenue for the city, the school district, and the Commonwealth. Not to mention the quality green space that will be enjoyed by Philadelphians for generations to come. Finally, Philadelphia will have the public space on the Delaware River that it deserves. And I'd like to take an opportunity to thank our state representatives, Mike O'Brien and Bill Keller, who's the ranking member of the House Transportation Committee. And we were just talking with the governor, Bill and myself, about growing up in South Philadelphia when I-95 first became a reality, and all the houses and all the way we were cut off from everything. It's just an ugly superstructure that is there, will be there probably forever, but the thousands of homes that were taken in order to build that highway. I think we're going the opposite direction on this by bringing the waterfront back to people, and I think it's going to be an absolutely beautiful site, and it will create wonderful opportunities for additional investment on the waterfront. And again, Governor, I think you've been one of the best governors we've ever had in a short period of time. Despite the odds that you face in the legislature, I want to thank you for sticking to it and always sticking to your principles. Thank you. I also want to thank all the community groups and all the folks at the RWC. This is a community collaboration that went on for a long time, and no one really told people what was going to be there. We said, what's your vision? What do you think should be there? How do you think we should do this? And that's what a democracy is all about, because we work together, we listen to each other, and then we produce in the end. So congratulations, it's a great day for Philly. So I already said nice things about him, so Governor Wolf.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction. I'm a little teary about that. You know, I'm from York County, right? But my wife and I have really come to love this part of Philadelphia. We have a place on Washington Square. And you can look down on I-95, and it is a real dividing line. And I don't have the mayor's perspective on growing up in this area and didn't have my neighborhood torn up by I-95, but I know what a dividing line this is for this city. There are thousands of acres of really good waterfront property that is cut off from the city because of I-95. And so this project, this partnership between the city and the William Penn Foundation, the state, and the federal government to actually build this deck and create some green space and one more connection between the city of Philadelphia and the waterfront that is so important is going to be a big step forward and a big step away from what has happened in this area with the development of that dividing line. So there are three things that I just want to point out: that there will be a cap over 95, and again, there's going to be a nice civic space. That's the first thing. It's going to be that, as Tom said, really good space between Walnut and Chestnut Street, so that instead of just a bridge across this sort of an artificial, it's going to be something that actually will connect Philadelphia with the waterfront. And we're going to extend the South Street Bridge to connect it to Penn's Landing. This is a really important step. It's something that we haven't done before. And I think I-95 was laid down, in 1959? And it has divided the city from its natural waterfront ever since then. This is something that's going to try to move back history and actually reconnect the city. It's going to be a great thing for the people of Philadelphia. but it is also a really nice partnership between public and private sources of support. And I want to thank Janet Haas and the William Penn Foundation for what they're doing to make this possible. We have all worked together. This is a reflection of the community, all the members of the community banding together to do something really good for this community, for our Commonwealth, and I appreciate all the work of all the partners. Thank you very much. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce the Secretary of the Department of Transportation for Pennsylvania, the one and the only, Secretary Leslie Richards. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is truly an honor to be here. We've been talking about this project for quite some time, and just thrilled to be here with Mayor Kenny, with Governor Wolf, with Janet Haas, with Tom, DRWC, and so many people. And so I see people from the past as well as current working on this project. This is a collaboration of which Pennsylvania and PennDOT are so proud of. We are proud to be collaborating with our neighbors and here to talk about our renewed emphasis on making all of our assets, including our interstates, such as I-95, a true asset in the community where they are located. It's the embodiment of a new statewide policy from the Wolf administration that we instituted called PennDOT Connects. And it's no accident that every single speaker so far has used the word connect in describing this project. What PennDOT Connects is about every dollar PennDOT invests in an asset is an investment in the community that hosts that asset. And we take that responsibility very seriously. Here, every dollar we invest in I-95 is an investment in Philadelphia. And we are so proud to be helping with connecting Philadelphia with the waterfront in a way that it has not been able to do since I-95 was built. For the first time, someone walking down Chestnut or Walnut Street will be able to see the water as they come down toward Front Street. And that will be such an important connection, not only for those of us who call Philadelphia our home, where we work or we live, but for those who visit to see the history that Philadelphia provides. They will now know that there is a waterfront should they decide to keep walking and go in that direction. And that is not something that they can do from now at this moment. So this CAP, as has been stated, is a true partnership of stakeholders, the city, the William Penn Foundation, the Delaware River Waterfront Corporation, and PennDOT. And we set an example of what can be done at the state when we all work together. This CAP and the improved access to the port we are planning as part of the reconstruction of I-95 just south of here will support and enhance the state's multi-billion-dollar, multi-decade investment in making I-95 a positive example of an urban highway. We at PennDOT are committed to reconnecting the Delaware River to the city, and we look forward to continuing to work with the city and its neighborhoods and its businesses to make an I-95 an asset we can all be proud of. Thank you so much.
It is now my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, the chair of the William Penn Foundation, Janet Haas. Don't move yet, Janet. The foundation has been a strong and early supporter of DRWC since our organization was formed in 2009. Our first grant from William Penn was $1 million to fund our master plan for the Central Delaware, a comprehensive 2-year effort that had an amazing amount of civic engagement and involved consultants in planning, design, public space, and economic development. We are now just celebrating the 5th year of the city's adoption of that plan, which is still our guidebook to this day. Over the life of the Delaware River Waterfront Corporation, the foundation has up to now and up to today provided approximately $15 million of vital matching funds for projects such as the Ray Street Pier, Washington Avenue Pier, Pier 68 in South Philly, as well as a variety of other projects that have made the Delaware River more accessible to the public. Up to today's announcement, the foundation, as I said, has provided $15 million to support these projects, and you're going to hear from Janet about the next level of commitment. Simply put, the foundation has been DRWC's essential partner from the beginning that allowed us to establish a track record of success and create momentum that brings us here to this announcement today. Janet.
Thank you. And thank you also, Secretary Richards, Governor Wolf, and Mayor Kenny, for your leadership in making this project a reality. I want to also thank several members of the William Penn Foundation staff who are here today, our amazing executive directors, Sean McCaney, and Rebecca Morley, and Cara Ferrantino. Give it up for them. And of course, so many thanks to DRWC, to Tom Corcoran, and to Joe Forkin for your unwavering commitment to create a world-class waterfront along the central Delaware River. Over the last 8 years, DRWC has been a model of urban planning and design, successfully implementing bold visions. We've been very pleased to support your work. And we're committed to working with you and with the city and the Commonwealth to raise the remaining $10 million that are needed to fully fund this project. We're in conversations now, and we're confident that together we can close the gap soon. Though perhaps difficult to believe today, for decades this part of the river was so polluted that fish and plant life could not survive, not enough oxygen in the water to sustain them. Nobody wanted to live or play near the water, kayak or fish, relax or hang out at Spruce Street Harbor Park. But thanks to enforcement of federal regulations, particularly the Clean Water Act of 1972, the quality of the water began to improve. And now our riverfront is booming. In just a few years, we've welcomed the Delaware River Trail, Ray Street Pier, Washington Avenue Green, Pier 68, Spruce Street Harbor, and new boating, fishing, and environmental programs along the whole stretch. People don't often stop to consider that these developments would not have happened without clean water. After all, who wants to do anything near a polluted river? We surely like clean water, and even more importantly, we depend on it. At William Penn, we believe that people who are connected with rivers appreciate water's beauty and its value. They become stewards who protect water quality when it's threatened. That is why we have so heavily invested in the Delaware River's transformation. 10 years ago, we did fund the citizen-led vision for the Central Delaware that generated huge public interest and momentum. And that vision and energy prompted us to fund creation of the Central Delaware Master Plan, and over time to support these trails, pier parks, and programming. Now hundreds of thousands of people are attracted every year to this riverfront, even without the cap. Imagine what it will be like in just a few years. Because this Penn's Landing Park will enhance Philadelphia's connection to the waterfront and forever change Philadelphia. And you are all helping to make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet. DRWC's purview, the 6-mile stretch of the central Delaware waterfront, falls entirely within the 1st Councilmatic District, and we have had the good fortune of having Mark Squilla as our councilperson. Mark has been a champion of DRWC and its work since he was elected, and he has helped us every step of the way to provide strong moral support for our efforts and to help us navigate around some difficult issues. He works closely with every neighborhood association in his district. He takes the time to listen to their concerns and to offer innovative solutions to their problems, and sometimes people yell at him. But he does the job, and he always comes through. It is my great pleasure to introduce 1st District Councilman Mark Squilla.
but I don't holler back, right? We keep the conversation going. Tom, I want to say this is a great day for me, and I'm proud to be here today. And the best part about this is to be able to make this announcement along with the governor and the mayor, and to have Tom still on board. As we heard, Tom will be leaving at the end of the month. But it's a great chance to make this announcement with you here today, and I think you deserve a great round of applause for making this happen. You know, when we started this process, a lot of people said this would never happen. You're never going to be able to get a cap over 95. You're never be able to get the funding. You can't do the study. And we know you have really some persistence people. We have very good community active. We have CDAG here. I see some members of CDAG and Matt Rubin and Joe Schiavo. And I see members from the DRWC here, Joe Forkin especially. And you know what? The drive never stopped. When people said you weren't going to be able to get the resources, they kept going. And, you know, Janice from William Penn were always there to help us. And in a project like this, we needed some big, heavy hitters. And I'd like to thank the mayor and Governor Wolf for really stepping up to make this happen. Thank you so much. You know, when you hear the city and the state doesn't work well together, well, in this instance, they show that they do. And we have great colleagues up in the state, our state representatives, O'Brien and Rep. Keller here to help support this project that are along the waterfront. And my colleague, Councilman Jones, is here also because we need to vote on that budget to make sure we get that money approved for the budget for the $90 million the city's putting into this cap. But again, this doesn't happen without a mission, without a plan. And the plan that came, it started way back with Mayor Street and with an idea with my predecessor, Councilman DeChico, to come up and really look and see how we were going to look at our waterfront and why we were having such a hard time developing it. And I think because of that process and because of that engagement with the communities, that process has now come, as you see, to fruition and to reality because of a plan that engaged both the communities, both the development community and the civic engagement of the civic community and our elected officials to really work together to make it happen. And yes, believe it or not, we don't always agree all the time on every aspect of it, but at the end, I believe we get it right, and we get it right because we do have such engaged community leaders, engaged community groups that really care about our waterfront. And now looking at this site, looking behind us, knowing that we're going to be able to connect the city to our riverfront, to have people be able to walk from their homes and from their businesses down to the river, and then be able to access that river and to be able to use the river as a means of not only recreation, but a means to be able to live, play, and work is just a great deal of accomplishment, but not only for the city of Philadelphia, but for our Commonwealth. So again, thank you all for letting me play a small role in this. Tom, thank you for your leadership along the way. We congratulate you and all your service and everything you have done for DRWC. And looking forward to continue that relationship with another great leader in Joe Forkin to make sure we end this when we dig it and then we've cut the ribbon to have this happen. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Councilman. To finish today's program, I would like to invite the city's managing director, Mike DeBerardinis, to the podium. Mike speaks from a unique perspective formed by an amazing career in all facets of public service and government, from community organizer to the head of the Commonwealth and City Parks Departments to managing director of the City of Philadelphia. Mike knows what a project like this can mean to a city. Mike?
Thanks, Tom, and good afternoon, everyone. It's as a board member of the DRWC, I'm proud to be part of this event today and part of this organization. I want to thank and congratulate on behalf of the board, the mayor, the governor, Secretary Richards, the William Penn Foundation, Councilman Squilla, for your absolute support and drive to get this done. It's really an important project. I also want to congratulate Tom for his tenure and his leadership at the DRWC for so many years. Smart cities are figuring this out. How do we get to the water? They're the cities that are going to be the cities of the future. Smart cities are thinking, how do we create high quality public space that builds equity, that protects the environment, and that drives the economy? Where do we invest that we can have impacts that grow in its value over time. That's the kind of project this is. The size, the scope, and the vision of this project. The collaboration with the William Penn Foundation, the collaboration with the state and the local government, and connecting back to the community is the way government should work. It's a model that the mayor wants to bring to the city. It's the way the governor wants to do his business across the state. And we're lucky for their leadership and our ability to advance this project. So I'm happy that I could be part of the board, a small part of this project, and I look forward to the groundbreaking and the ribbon cutting in the near future. Thank you very much.
Just one other point I'd like to make is that when this project is finished, it will not be nearly as much noise as you hear, background noise as you hear right now. This 4-acre cap will help to muffle all of that, and you'll be walking across a beautiful cap that will be pretty stunning. Again, on behalf of DRWC, our directors, and our staff, thank you for being a part of the future of Philadelphia's Delaware River waterfront. And if you haven't already done so, please help yourself to some of the best ice cream in the city from Philly's own Franklin Fountain. Where are they? There they are, back there. Thank you all very much.